Okay, let's see here, present. All right. And so Google Calendar is up next. I know that we've definitely chatted a lot about Google Calendar, a little bit so far, but I wanted to go a little bit more in depth about some of the neat tips and tricks and what Google Calendar is. So Google Calendar allows you to quickly schedule meetings and events, and then you will get reminders about upcoming activities. I have my reminders set for 10 minutes before, but you can always set your reminders, for an hour before or whatever works best for you, and then it syncs to your smartphone or smart device. So my calendar on my phone, I can pull it up and it integrates exactly into my Google Calendar that I would see on the computer. And it's really designed for teams, so you can easily share your schedule with people and create multiple calendars that you and your team can use together. So Google Calendar, I'm going to show you what it looks like first. So we're going to open up the Google Calendar. Now you guys can see my entire schedule for the week. But so you can put in different colors and meetings and appointments and whatnot. But I'm going to say I want to schedule a breakfast with my husband on Saturday, April 11th. So I'm going to say we're going to do it at 9 a.m. So breakfast date, and then I say it's going to be an event. So that's clicked. And it's going to be April 11th, 9 a.m. It's going to last until 10:30. And then I can add him as a guest. So I can click his name, Zane Tabor. It pops up. And what's really cool is I can actually see the guest availability if they've shared the calendar with me. So right now it's showing that he cannot be shown because I cannot see his calendar because he hasn't shared it with me. But say maybe I'm sending it to Quinn, who has shared her calendar with me. I can now see her availability. It'll show me where things are blocked out. So all the gray right here is where her calendar is saying that she's not available. So she doesn't work on the weekends. So clearly a breakfast wouldn't work with her schedule on a Saturday. So it's kind of cool that you can see all these different suggested times, and it will actually pull down a little box that says when all participants can attend, and it will go ahead and suggest times for you, which is really neat. And then you can add the location. Say we're going to do it at a local restaurant in town, Robinson Ferry. I'm going to click that. And then on my settings, it automatically allows me to create a Google Hangouts Meet code, which is kind of similar to Zoom. It's like a video chat service that we are going to discuss. But for this one, it's an in-person meeting. So I'm just going to hit the X. We don't have to do that. And then I can add a description. Would love for you to join me for breakfast. And then I can choose what calendar I want it to go on. So it's going to go on my own calendar, and I'll hit save. And so as soon as I save it, I can send her a calendar request. And so now she'll get a notification in her email that I've sent her a calendar request, and she can choose to accept it or deny it. But I'm going to go ahead and just delete this. And then when I delete it, I can send a cancellation message like, sorry, can't make it. And then I can hit send, and it will delete that off of my calendar and give her a notification now that it has been deleted. So one other kind of fun feature about Google Calendar is that you can actually send a daily agenda. So I just started doing this for myself probably 2-3 months ago. And it's like having your own personal assistant, which is pretty neat. So it's a daily agenda that will email you every morning at 5 a.m. with an overview of your day's events. So I got one this morning. It told me my very first appointment was this at 10 a.m. And so I knew, okay, I had to get there a little bit early, and I could see all my other appointments that I had for the day. And how do you set it up? So you'll click the gear and I think somebody's mic is on if you want to mute yourself.
Oh,
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So what you'll do is you'll go click on the gear icon in the top right corner of Google Calendar and select settings. And then on the left-hand menu, click the name of the calendar you want emails about. And there's an option that says daily agenda. And in the drop-down, you'll select email. So I'll go and show you what that looks like. So you'll open up the calendar, and there's this little gear icon. Those are your settings. So you'll click settings. And then let me look again. On the left-hand menu, click the name of the calendar you want emails about. So on the left-hand menu, here are the settings for my calendars. It's right here. So I'm going to click on my personal calendar, and then I'll scroll down, and there is under other notifications, a button that has daily agenda. Receive a daily email with agenda for this calendar. So I can choose, no, I don't want it, or yes, I do want it emailed. And so I'll select that I want it emailed and it automatically saves it for me. So it's a really cool feature. I'll show you what it looks like. Hopefully, well, I think I deleted it this morning because I already looked at it, but let's go into my trash so I can pull it out and show you guys what it looks like. But it just simply like boils down your whole day, which I think is pretty neat. Here it is. So my daily agenda. So it shows me, okay, at 9 a.m. I had to do a task. 9:30, I had an appointment. 10 a.m. I had this presentation. I have a call with one of my employees at 1, and then I have to be somewhere from 4 to 7. So it's pretty cool. And you can just go ahead and delete it, after you've taken a look at it if you want. All right. And there's, I put it in here as well, just as a reminder of how you can access that. So feel free to reference that later. So then you can enable the tasks to organize your events. I know we talked a little bit about that, but it is part of your Google Calendar technically. So whenever you open up the calendar, there's that little blue button that we talked about, and you can click it and the task menu will open. And you can add a new reminder by clicking the add task button and fill out all the details. And so I'm going to show you what that looks like from the calendar view. So on calendar, this is the little button right here. It says tasks. You'll click that open. It'll pop open all your different tasks. If you want to add a task, you'll click the plus sign, add a task. And then it'll go down to the bottom and you can say, remind Lewis about Easter plans, just as an example. And then if I want to edit it, I can just choose it to have no date, or I can edit by clicking this pencil that's edit details. So then I can say email and call her, or whatever I want to put in there. I can add it to my list. And then I've also created other types of lists, like a bucket list, goals, different things like that. And then I can add a date and time. I'm going to center this reminder on Saturday at 8 a.m. And so it'll remind me at 8 a.m. to go ahead and email her. And then you can also add subtasks under here, which is kind of neat too. So say I want to add a task like email Lewis, I could do that. And then maybe I want to add another task to call Lewis. I could do that as well. So you're able to add all these great subtasks up under there. And so basically what it does is it's a virtual checkbox. So I really love this because I'm a big person that likes to check things off after my task is done. And so what I can do is, I already reminded Lewis about the Easter plans. I emailed and I called her. So I'm going to click this check button and it marks it as complete, and it completely removes it from my list. You'll see it on my calendar now that it's crossed off. I could go in and delete that task if I wanted. But it kind of gives you that joy of having completed something. So pretty neat. All right. And then Candy's saying, do you set the color code to represent certain things? So you'll see on my calendar that I have like some different colors of things. I just have it kind of in my head what the colors are. So green things I like to do for another business that we own. And so I'll put that in green whenever there's something for another business. For all tabletop stuff, I'll put it in blue. And then my tasks are selected as purple. So, I mean, you can like go in and change like different colors that you want, and it's easy to do. So you can say like, date day or whatever, and maybe I want that to be in a different color. I'll click more options and there's a select event color. So yellow. So like anything that I do with my husband, I'll put it in yellow typically on my calendar. I know right now we're not doing a lot of date days or things like that because we're quarantined, but usually you'll see like kind of a nice mix of different colors on my calendar, which I think is great. But great question, Candy. All right. Then number 3 is blocking off appointments. So this is a great tool that I definitely want to share with you guys, because if you're somebody who, I know for me, I'm scheduling a lot of meetings all the time, like calls with people, or like an in-person coffee meeting or a client meeting. It's really difficult when you're going back and forth over email, like, are you free at 5 p.m. on Wednesday or 6 p.m. on Thursday? And so it's kind of tough when you, excuse me, when you're going back and forth. So what you'll do is you'll create a new event for a time when you'll be free and click the appointment slot on the right. So I'll show you what this looks like. So say I'm Kristen from Tabletop. I'm gonna go ahead and set up all these different appointments in my calendar for when people can schedule a call with me. So Fridays, from 10 to 2, I'm gonna block off as conference call appointments. So I click on, instead of event, an appointment slot. So I'm going to be available on Fridays or this Friday, April 17th, from 10 to 3 o'clock. And then I can select a duration. So every hour is when I'm going to schedule a meeting. So that means somebody could go in and select me from 10 to 11 for a conference call appointment, 11 to 12, 12 to 1, and so on. And then I'll click save. And then if I wanted to send somebody my availability, I simply hover over one of my appointment slots and I click on this button. It says go to appointment page for this calendar. So I'll click on this and now anybody can access this link and it will show them when there are available slots to book me. So it says next available appointment slot on April 17th, and they can simply click a tool right here to schedule me. And so it'll say, it'll pop open whoever is selecting it. So maybe like I'm selecting my own calendar, so it's popping up my name right here. But say Quinn is selecting it, it will pop open her name and she can put in where she wants it to be in a description and then click save. And then it will automatically remove that slot from my calendar, but schedule that new appointment with Quinn or whoever is booking me. So it's a wonderful tool, especially if you're somebody that's scheduling a lot of like coffee meetings or conference calls, and it just helps you to really stay organized. So now we're going to talk a little bit about Google Hangouts. So this is the next section that I think is really beneficial for teams and businesses. And so I will need my team to get ready to start a quick demo for you guys. Excuse me. So Google Hangouts is made up of two different aspects. One is Meet, and the second one is Chat. So Meet is a meeting that is hosted via video, kind of like Zoom. But unlike Zoom, you can only have up to 30 people on your meeting. So it's really great for, small businesses and small teams. So I know we actually have a weekly call that we use Google Hangouts for in the Meet section. And we usually have, maybe 5 to 8 people on the call total. So it works out really well for my team since we're a little bit more of a smaller business. And to instigate meetings, you need to have a G Suite account, but you can join a meeting with any type of Google account. So I'll go ahead and show you. I'm going to have Quinn get ready to schedule a meeting with me. So I can do this a couple different ways. I can go ahead and select a calendar invite. So maybe I want to send her a calendar invite at 10:45 a.m. right now, and I'm going to call it a meeting. And then I can add her as a guest, Quinn. And like I mentioned earlier, it'll pop open this automatic button that says join Hangouts Meet. So I'll save it on my calendar. I'll send her a notification and she'll get an alert that we have a meeting coming up at 10:45, which is right now. And then she can click join Hangouts Meet from her calendar and it will open up a Hangouts meeting. And so a Hangouts meeting, right now it's saying my camera is failing because I am using my camera for Zoom. But what it typically would do is pop open your camera and then also your audio. And then I'll hit join now. And I'm on, and you can see Quinn. Quinn's waving to everybody. And so I could hear her if she's speaking. I can see her on the camera. And then another cool function is that, Quinn, I'm going to have you just present your screen real quick. So she can present her screen or I can present my screen. And this is a great tool. Like if I know sometimes we do virtual trainings with our team. So Quinn is presenting her screen. So now you can see all her different screens. She can hover over to whatever she wanted to share me on. And so now I can see that, we're looking at that meeting that's up there. So it's a really great tool. Definitely if you're looking for something that doesn't have as many bells and whistles as Zoom, it's a great tool to use for your team. And it allows you to connect virtually. So I'm going to go ahead and end this, which I do so by leaving call. So leaving the call, and you can choose to rejoin it if you needed to, or go back to your home screen. So another way that you could create a meeting is by going to meet.google.com, and you have to be signed in, but you'll click the plus sign, join or start a meeting, and then you nickname the meeting. I'm going to nickname it test. And then I can send this link to people if I want to, or I can join now. And then I can easily copy the joining info and share it with people on email, or I can add people. So I'm going to add Jordan and Lewis to this, and they'll get an email notification that I've just sent them an invite to join a quick meeting that I wanted them to have. So as soon as they get the invite, they'll pop in and you'll get to see their screens and they'll be able to talk with me. So it's a pretty neat feature. I definitely recommend using it, like I said, if you're more of a smaller team. So there's Jordan. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the call. And so that's just a quick demo on how to use the meet function. And then now I'm going to show you about the chat function. So the chat function is more of an intelligent communication app that lets you just direct message people. And then you can also do group chats. So I really love this button and this tool on Google, especially because it integrates with your email really well. So say I'm emailing back and forth with Quinn and I just had a quick question for her. I could pop open, I start a new chat by clicking this plus sign right here, and I look for her name, Quinn, and I can easily chat, hey, testing, or whatever my question is. And it's like a DM just back and forth. Instead of having to text her, I can then go in here. And say I want to select a group chat, I can do so by creating a plus sign, a new group, and then I can select all the people that I want to go in the chat. So I'll click all three of the ladies who are on right now, and I'll say testing, and it should pop open on their screens. And now I can see who else typing and then who else chatting. So Lewis says hi, Jordan says hi, Quinn, hello. And so you can also send emojis through the chat if you want, which is kind of fun. Just different things like that. And something else that I think is really cool is you can send photos and like videos and different things like that. So you can select a photo from your computer that you want to send in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and just send them this this image of a menu for one of our clients. And so it just uploads it and you can send it as a photo, which is pretty cool. So it's a great little feature. And especially when you don't want to like be blowing up somebody's inbox over and over again, you can just chat back and forth. And I know that we're always on our Gmail app. So it's great when I can just like pop this open real quick and ask Quinn a fast question or whoever I want to chat with. So pretty awesome feature. I know Aurora is saying that it's really cool. I definitely agree with you on that. All right. So now we will talk about the next category of apps that's available through Google Suite. So the next category is creativity. So G Suite offers a range of exciting apps that give companies everything that you need to deliver on a project or bring a new idea to life. So you can literally access your documents anywhere and anytime, and you never have to hit save again, which I think is great. I know I was the world's worst when I was growing up. We'd have like Microsoft docs, like Word docs, and I would always forget to hit save. And then I'd lose my document when my computer shut down, and it was a whole mess growing up. But now Google Docs has made it so easy where it auto saves everything for you. And you can also share the docs with anyone and edit in real time, chat, and comment. So it's pretty cool. And we're going to cover Google Docs, Sheets, Forms, and Slides today. So 4 different things. So Google Docs, it brings your documents to life with smart editing and styling tools, and it helps you create easily formatted text and paragraphs. So think of it like if you're a Microsoft user, Microsoft Word. And what's really cool is it also integrates with Microsoft Word. So you can easily download your Google Doc and save it as a Word doc to send to somebody if you need to. It's absolutely free with your Google Suite account. You can choose from hundreds of different fonts. You can add links, images, drawings to it. And then there's also a wide range of templates that are already built in that you could choose. So maybe you're looking for a new job. You can easily use Google Docs and click on the resumes section. You can also download any templates that have like reports or pre-made documents. So I'm going to open up a Google Doc and show you how you can start using this on your own. All right. So to access Google Docs, you will need to go. I always click on my Gmail and then click on Google Apps, or you can do docs.google.com too. But I usually do this because I'm always on my email. But I click on the apps, go down, and it's Docs. It's the little blue sheet right here. So I'm going to open this up and you'll see all of the different templates that are available. So there's a template gallery. You can click on, I want to create a brochure, or I want to create a project proposal, or whatever you might want. They're all right in there, which is pretty cool. And I mean, there's anything: legal, sales, human resources, the list goes on. So I'm just going to do a blank doc for right now though. So what I do is I go always, number one, and title my document. So I'm going to call this testing 123. And so when I start typing, it looks just like a regular Word doc. I can select different font if I want right here. I'm going to select the Merriweather font. I'm going to make it absolutely huge and whatnot. And then I now really need some help editing this doc. So what I'm going to do is share it with my team. And so I'm going to share it with Jordan, Lewis, and Quinn. So I'm sharing it with her, with Quinn, Lewis, and Jordan. And then I can add more people if I want that are outside of my organization. Like literally anybody can help you edit. But before you share a document, I always suggest clicking on two things. One is the edit button, and you can choose if they can edit it directly, if they can just comment on it, or they can view it. So I will say, sometimes I like to share Google Docs with clients, but I don't want them to edit it because I don't want them to mess up anything or whatnot. So I'll just say only can view, and they won't ever be able to edit your document, only view it. But in this case, I really need their help editing my document. And then there's also a button that says get shareable link. So this is where a lot of times if you're sharing a document with somebody and they're like, I can't see your document, or it's making me request access, it's because you haven't looked closely at the shareable link. So you'll need to click on this. Right now, anyone at Tabletop Media Group, so my company organization, can view this document. But say I want to open it up to anybody with the link. I click on anyone with the link, and access, anybody with the link can edit it. So I'm going to go ahead and save that link sharing preferences. So make sure that you do click on these two different things that we just showed you. And if you do just want to simply get a link to share, you can open up Get Shareable Link and hit Copy Link, and you can, send it. I'm going to go ahead and send it to all of you guys so you can open it if you have access. And so now anybody that has that link is going to be able to edit the doc. So I'm just going to go ahead and send it to the three ladies on my team, and they'll open up the doc, and you'll actually be able to see in real time who's editing the document. So I'm just making some edits. So Quinn just popped on, and then somebody else who is anonymous, so probably one of you guys from the call, it'll randomly make you an animal, which is kind of interesting. But so I can see that the anonymous person is up here. Jordan is typing hello. It says her name. I hovered right here. Quinn just said hello. Let's see. Lewis is probably going to start saying something soon. So it's kind of cool because you can see who all is editing and where. So people are changing at different colors. And so another really cool feature is that you can chat while using the doc. So there's this button right here that's chat. So I'm going to say, hey, everyone. And then all these users who are on the doc can type right back to me. So they'll just have to open up their little chat button and then type to me. So Quinn, can you open up the chat button? And yeah, Jordan just said hi. Quinn said hi. So it's pretty neat. Like maybe I want to tell somebody, can you change the yellow highlight to green? So now everybody gets that little message. Can you change the yellow highlight to green? And then whoever's on the document can go in there, and now Lewis is up there and Jordan, and they're changing it to the green color. So it's pretty cool. Whenever you're collaborating, you can definitely use that little chat button. And to get out of the chat, you can just hit hide chat. And then another kind of fun feature about this is that there's this button that says editing. So editing mode, I can also say that I just want to suggest edits. So we do this a lot. Like for instance, maybe Quinn has sent me a press release that we want to send out to our client. Well, maybe, I don't really like this, that she put a smiley face here. So I'm going to suggest an edit that is going to delete the smiley face. So now it will just show up that I have made a suggested change. And then if Quinn wants to accept my change, she can hit the plus sign and then the smiley face will go away. So kind of another fun feature, like especially if you're going to be editing one of your teammates' documents. And then another cool thing is that up here it says all changes saved in Drive. So every change you make is automatically saved in Drive. The last edit was just a couple seconds ago. So I'm going to click this though, because then it will show all of the different editing history. So I can go down and I could, maybe I just want to go back to that blank doc and restore this version. I can restore that version. Or maybe I just want to know who did what. So Kristen typed this. Hello was typed by Lewis. Somebody anonymous said hola. So I can see who edited what, and I can also go back and restore old versions. So maybe you accidentally sent it to a client and they edited your whole doc, but you want your original back. Just click up on that little tool and then restore this version, and it will restore it to now my blank page. So kind of a fun feature. And then I know that I mentioned that you can save it as a Word doc. So you do File and then download Microsoft Word. And so it will automatically convert this file now as a Word doc. And so when I open it up, this file would now be a Word doc. I don't know if Microsoft Word is on this computer that I'm using yep, it is. So now whenever I open this, it would show it as just a blank Word doc. And I won't spend much more time on that. But awesome. We're going to go ahead and just pop off of this real quick. All right. So now Google Sheets, it's pretty similar, but it works with Excel. So Google Sheets makes your data pop. You can add colorful charts and graphs, built-in formulas, pivot tables, so on. I use it a lot for like different spreadsheets I need for my business. I think it's a really wonderful tool. It also has templates built in that have budgets, schedules, and other pre-made spreadsheets. So I'll open up a Google Sheet. So I click right here and then Sheets. And then I'm going to just start a blank sheet and I'm going to share Lewis on this one. I have to name my sheet. So I'll do test 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to share it with Lewis. So similar kind of setup. I'm going to make sure she can edit it. I only want it just editable between me and Lewis. So I'm just going to do that. I'll send her a quick note that I want her help editing. And I'm making my spreadsheet right now just for simple sake. We won't go through like all the formulas or anything that would take all day, but I'm going to just sum up all of these numbers right here. So I'm going to use the sum tool and then hit enter, and it easily added up all of these numbers. But now I want Lewis to go in there and change all the numbers. So you can see her cursor is now pink. So she'll go in and Lewis, just change all those numbers for me. So you see she's changing it and the sum is altering automatically down there at the bottom, which is kind of cool. So it's a really great tool that you can use exactly like Excel. It has all the same functions. You can insert charts places and like do a bunch of different things. And then file, download as Microsoft Excel. So it would easily download it as an Excel doc. You can also download for any of these to a PDF, which is great too, or like a CSV file if you're familiar with that and like using newsletter tools. All right, so we'll close off of that. And then Melissa, I know that you're chatting right now. We can see you. Just wanted to let you know. All right, so now we'll go back to the presentation. And the next one I want to go over is Google Forms. So this is a great tool whenever you want to send out a survey. So you can really survey with style is what I like to call it. You can use photos, logos that you own, and the forms will pick up colors to complement those photos that you add in. And there's already pre-made themes in there, and you can add in any kind of Q&A that you want. And so, for instance, like maybe you want to create a poll or you want to collect email addresses or manage event registrations. Google Forms has it all for you. And then after you've sent out the form and everybody's filled it out, it will easily create just a quick survey of all the responses and neatly and automatically organize them in charts and different things like that. So I'm going to show you real quick what this will look like on Google Forms. So if you want to go to Google Forms, you'll click down right here, and it's a purple button this time that says Forms. So we'll click on Forms. And then you can see that I have actually already created a few forms. So I'm just going to pull up one that I created. We hosted an event in Warrenton called Chefs on the Farm. And I needed people to answer like if they'll need a plate or a bowl for their dish. It was like a big festival that we were doing. And so I was able to add in a variety of questions. I gathered their email. I did, some buttons here that they could select plate or bowl. They could add in text descriptions. But if, say, for instance, I wanted to add in another question to this form, I simply click the plus sign, add question, and then I type my question. Will you be there for the event? And then I can select, I want it to be multiple choice. I want it to be check boxes, drop down. You can really play around with it, but I'm going to say yes or no, since it's a yes or no question, and then no. And then I can make it a required question, different things like that. And then I can add an image if I wanted to directly into my form to maybe appear. I could see that going really well for, will you need a plate or bowl for your dish? I could have popped in a photo of what the plate or bowl looks like for them. So then when I'm ready to send this form, I click the send button, and I can easily go ahead and just type in emails of who I wanted to send the form to. Maybe I want to send it to Jordan, and then I can include the form in the email. So it's pretty cool. She'll immediately get that form directly in her email. She can fill it out, submit her response. And then I can also send it as a link. So I can click over here as a link, copy the link, and then paste that into, I'll paste it into the chat. And this is an old form if anybody wants to just play around and see what the form looks like to fill it out. And then after folks have filled out their responses, me, since I'm the admin of this, I can click over on responses. And it will show me who all's responded. And then it will show me, okay, this many people, 5 need a plate, 3 need a bowl. I haven't received any answers for if they'll be there or not because I just added that. And then all the different names of their dishes is listed right here. Does your dish have any allergens? It breaks it down into an easy chart for me to see. So a really wonderful function. And I can click on a summary. I can click on the question to view all the results, or I can click on the individual. I like this one as the individual because I can hover down. Maybe I needed to know what Simone needed directly. So she needs a plate and her dish has nuts in it or whatever. So it's a pretty cool feature. Definitely recommend using it. Like if you do a lot of surveying, it's just super intuitive to use. Now, finally, we're going to go over the last of the 3 main categories of all the apps on Google Suite. So accessibility. Accessibility means that you can access the information and support you need at any time, wherever you are, because Google Suite is cloud-based. All you need is an internet connection and the right credentials to connect you to your network. And G Suite's apps for accessibility ensure that businesses are equipped with tools they need for a productive workflow. So the main G Suite app for accessibility includes Google Drive and then Google Cloud Search. We're only going to talk about Google Drive today because Cloud Search is a little bit more high level, and it's also only available with the enterprise level. So we'll not be covering that today. But what exactly is Google Drive? So Google Drive, think of it like your hard drive on your computer. It's a system that allows companies to store, access, and share their files over a secure connection. What sets it apart from a usual computer hard drive is that you can share. So like we did with Google Docs, we're able to share our docs and collaborate. So that's the really neat part about this. And it also is somewhere safe to store all the spreadsheets and documents and presentations that your teams create. So definitely would recommend using this as a business. It's super safe because it's super, super secure. They do require, 2-factor authentication, and I feel completely fine storing things on this platform. I've never had any issues with my business account. And so you can have 30 gigabytes of storage per user for the basic companies, or you can get unlimited storage on a business plan. It's the $10 a month added fee. And you can store every file that your firm needs, unlimited storage under that tool. And you can access all of these docs anytime on your mobile or desktop device, and you get 15 gigabytes of space in your Google Drive for free. And in order to go to your Google Drive, I'm just going to show you quickly what it looks like. You go to drive.google.com to access it. So we'll go drive.google.com. And so now it immediately pops open my drive. So you can see my hopefully somewhat organized drive. So like I said, think of it like if you were opening up your computer to look at all the documents. So Google Drive has everything organized. I can choose to have it as a list view, which I tend to like, or as a grid view. So I'm going to have it as a list view, and I can, organize things by name, by last modified date, by me. So that way I can like easily access some of those documents that I last modified. And it organizes it by whatever folders you have. So what I've done for us at Tabletop is I have everything organized by client name. So say I needed to find a document for my Asali. It's a cafe and carry. I'll click on her file, and then I can easily find, oh, here's the Asali bakery job description that I needed to pop open to edit. So I can easily open up that doc, and it will allow me to start editing. So it's just a great way to keep things organized. And one thing that I'll show you that we use a lot on our team is the client images folder. So I created this client images folder, and I was able to share it with everyone on my team. So that's the cool part, is that you can have private files, but then also share. So you'll see that I've shared this file with 13 people from our team. And so what that does is it gives them access now to this entire folder of client images. So we go out, we have photographers on our team who take photos at our clients' restaurants or places of business. So I'm just going to show you an example of Asali again. So I'll click open the Asali folder. Anybody on my team can pull from this. So we're going to go back to the January 2020 folder, and I can see all the different images that have been uploaded here. And I can easily pull these. So here's a beautiful photo of a macaroon. I can easily download this to my hard drive, to my computer if I want, just by clicking the download button. I can also add a comment to this if I wanted to. And then I can also share just this photo with somebody from my team if I wanted to. So it's a pretty neat feature. So it's just a really great way to keep you organized and also share and collaborate with people on your team. And I think I have a couple of chats. Awesome. Josephina said, how many people can I send the email form going back up to Google Forms? You can send it to as many people as you would like. So that's a great question. Thank you. So yeah, anyway, that is a quick overview of Google Suite. I wanted to make sure to show you some of the really neat tools like Boomerang and, like easily how you can collaborate on a Google Doc or sheet. And I will open it up to questions if you want to pop those into the chat. And we have time for just a couple as well. So Heather says, as the folders are updated, do you have to reshare the folder or the updates automatically with everyone with access? It's a wonderful question. So she's basically saying, maybe I'm on this Asali folder, but I have decided to rename the folder. I'm going to rename it Asali 2020. It will automatically, if Heather is opening up that folder, it will automatically just change the name to Asali 2020. So you do not have to let people know that it's been updated. But say you are adding a new document to the Asali folder. So I'm going to call this Asali test 1, 2, 3. And then I can choose where I want to save it. So I'm going to move it, and I'm going to put it under the Asali 2020. Well, it's actually already there. I was too smart and did it myself already, but it's under that Asali 2020 folder. So now when I go under here, I'll see that Asali test is in there. So I don't have to alert people that it's in there now. It will automatically go in there. But if you do want them to take action and look at that, I would definitely suggest sharing that one doc with them. All right. And then Josephina said, please could you share the link where we can get your meeting classes calendar? Absolutely. I'll go ahead and pull that up for you guys. It's under Advanced Granville Community College. If you go down and click on their class schedules, and then under the Small Business Center, I'm going to go ahead and pop this link in to everyone. And then you'll be able to go down and look under online. And then you'll see all of the upcoming classes. It's called Doing Business Remotely. And so you can sign up for all of the Doing Business Remotely classes that we have coming up. The next one is on Basecamp and other project management systems. And I had another question, is each folder shared with different people on Google Drive? So it's up to you who you want to share the folders with. So I'm going to pop back open my Google Drive. So you'll see like the folder that I have called Ag Carolina is just a private folder to me. But say I want to share it with somebody, I can go in and choose who I want to share it with. So maybe I want to share it with Jordan, Lewis, and Quinn. And then I hit send and it will now automatically add that to their Google Drive. One thing I will say is that if you do want to find what has been shared with you, click on this button right here on Google Drive. It says shared with me. And so I'll click on that and you can see all the different folders and different documents that have been shared with me. So somebody shared me on, let me pick up one, Raleigh rolls Sassoul. And this was like an ice cream roll that we did. And so I was able to pop this open and this is a folder that Quinn has shared me on. And I can see, I can go ahead and I can send this to other people if I wanted to as well, because her settings are created where I can also share it. And then I can add this to my drive if I wanted. So if I want to add this to my drive, now I can find it under my drive and it will say down at the very bottom, Raleigh rolls, Sassoul. Let's see, right here. So now it's added to my drive. So just another way to help keep you organized. I know that we do a lot of sharing back and forth. So anytime I do need one of these folders to be in my drive, I simply just add it to my drive. But that's a great question. So Angela asked, it doesn't access to Google Photos. It actually does. So that's another good question. We did not cover that, but what you do is you click on Google Apps and go down to Photos. So I have it integrated. Anytime I take a photo on my phone, it will automatically upload it to my Google Photos. So you guys will be able to see a lot of photos. It was my anniversary yesterday. So I had some photos of my husband with a funny cake that I got him. And so it automatically uploads it. And Google Photos is super smart. It categorizes him as like under the people, and I can actually name him if I wanted to. And I can edit his face. Like maybe that wasn't him, it was somebody else. I can tweak it and it will show me all the details that this photo was taken on my Samsung device on April 8th at 8:30. And it will tell me where I took it. So it's kind of a neat tool. And then Google Photos, you can organize things into albums if you want. You can share photos here. There's Jordan with an oyster, and I have her under a folder where we went to an oyster farm. And so I have all my photos right there of us. So it's definitely another great tool that you can use. And Angela says that she might be a little bit afraid and share these with all her contacts. So for Google Photos, what's really cool is that it is just personalized to you. The only way that you would actually share something is if you click on the photo and hit this button that says share. And so I could send this photo to Jordan, Quinn, and Lewis, and then I would have to actually go in and share it. So I definitely wouldn't be afraid to use something like this. Cool. And Jordan, yeah, that's a great point. Jordan said you can also get all of these apps on Google for your phone. So I'm going to stop my share and just show you how I have it. Hopefully you guys can see this, but I have it under, I just have a section on my phone called Google. And so hopefully you guys can see this. So I have all of my different Google apps right here. So there's a button for Google Docs, for Google Sheets, and I can easily open that up and access my Google Docs. So I'm going to open up Google Docs and you'll see that all of my documents are right there that I've recently accessed. One just popped up that Lewis had edited. So I can open it up and pop up my doc and edit it right on my phone. And it also saves it on my phone and on the computer. It's everywhere, saved in Google Drive. So pretty neat feature. Cool. And I did have a question if this was being recorded. It is being recorded. So I will hit the stop button at the end of the class and we will be saving it. So definitely feel free to reference this presentation in the future. And I will be sharing my Google Slides, which is another tool. I know we didn't go over it today in depth, but Google Slides is another tool that you can use to present. And I can just show you briefly what that looks like if you're interested in staying on. Um, Google Slides, it integrates with PowerPoint. So this is where I actually did my my presentation for today. So it's just like PowerPoint. You can create new slides. You can like change different colors and whatnot, and then you can download it as a PowerPoint document. So it's another really awesome tool. You access it just by going right here to Google Apps and then going down to slides right here. So it'll pop it open and they already have some pre-made templates as well. So I like to sometimes use these like maybe for a report or, you know, maybe you're creating a recipe book. You can pop open their template and easily edit it right there and it already looks really sleek and professional. And then Aurora said, can we get a recording and presentation by email? Absolutely. I'll get that stuff over to Sherry. It will take a little bit for the file to render of the recording, but we'll definitely get that. So, and we'll certainly email the slides too as well. So thank you so much. And like I said, please do sign up. If you scroll back up in the group chat, there's a link and I can actually put it back in again to all of the other presentations about doing business remotely. And I really hope that you found this helpful. Thank you guys so much. And let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to type in my personal email address. It's Kristen@tabletopmediagroup.com in case you guys have questions and need to reach out. And I'll also share my screen real quick that has all of my contact info there. That way you guys can get that from me too. Let me go ahead and pull that up right now. So very cool. Thank you all. And I hope you have a great day. Feel free to reach out if you have questions via email.